Senior contributor of the Federalist, Ben Weingarten, recently published an article titled, "What are governors doing to counter communist China? The answer is disturbing." Weingarten sent a questionnaire survey to governors of all 50 states. The questions center around whether the elected governors did everything they could to defend the value and interest of the United States in the face of CCP infiltration and interference. He expressed his disappointment that only 3 states responded, namely Nebraska, Mississippi, and Arkansas. Weingarten asked every governor what measures they have taken to counter the CCP's infiltration and sabotage. Lastly, he asked, to the extent your office has not taken any such measures to deter the CCP's myriad efforts to influence our people, penetrate our institutions, and exploit our commercial and financial dealings, why? A spokesperson from the office of Nebraska Governor Pete Ricketts has responded thoroughly, and the state has made various efforts to deter the CCP's infiltration. The office of Mississippi's Republican Governor, Tate Reeves, responded, last winter, senior staff within state government were briefed and trained on the ongoing influence campaign from the Chinese Communist Party and how to avoid becoming ensnared in such activities. It is of the utmost importance that federal, state, and local leadership remains vigilant in the face of these sabotage efforts from those foreign actors who oppose America. Weingarten is not the only person who thinks that state-level resistance to the CCP's infiltration is critical. In a September speech to the Wisconsin legislature, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said,
"She knows that the federal government is pushing back against the Chinese Communist Party here in the United States and its malign influence, and it sees that here in the United States and increasingly around the world it can use subnational entities to circumvent America's sovereignty." He thinks local leaders may well be the weak link.
In a speech to the National Association of Governors given in February, Pompeo warned,
"The Chinese government has been methodical in the way it's analyzed our system, our very open system, one that we're deeply proud of. It's assessed our vulnerabilities, and it's decided to exploit our freedoms to gain advantage over us at the federal level, the state level, and the local level."
Americans must know how the Chinese Communist Party is poisoning the well of our higher education institutions for its own ends, and how those actions degrade our freedoms and American national security. If we don't educate ourselves, if we're not honest about what's taking place, we'll get schooled by Beijing.
Pompeo pointed out regarding the CCP's infiltration of American campuses in a speech delivered at the Georgia Institute of Technology. In an op-ed titled, "China is National Security Threat Number 1" on December 3rd, U.S. National Intelligence Director John Ratcliffe stated in the Wall Street Journal, "The intelligence is clear. Beijing intends to dominate the U.S. and the rest of the planet economically, militarily, and technologically. Many of China's major public initiatives and prominent companies offer only a layer of camouflage to the activities of the Chinese Communist Party."